What's up, everybody? We're back. I'm George Mossey. I'm here with my co-host, Marshana Dahlia. This is part 2, 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 6, Episode 10. And we're going to start off and we're going to talk about Brandon and Julia. So, Julia found an apartment online that she didn't know how much it costed, but she liked the way it looked, so they went out to see it. I don't go see places, price unseen. I just don't believe that that's something that I would do. I'm a more cost conscious.
It's totally a production element to give her reality.
So they go look at an $1,800 a month apartment, which is completely out of Brandon's, it's out of his reach. He's unable to give her that, which I think everyone knows that. He's been living with his mom. He's about to be 29. That's going to be out of reach. So out of frustration, she goes and looks online and she finds a job interview at a local gym. Now, this is where things took a crazy turn. So she goes to audition for a dance instructor job and she starts dancing like a stripper at the audition. And I guess in Russia, the type of dance that she does in America, we call that stripping. But in Russia, it's called go-go dancing. So I learned something new last night. But here, if there's no way a woman would let her husband go to the gym if the instructor was doing that. The gyms would be empty.
Well, listen, hey, I couldn't actually watch the audition. I had to turn away. It was so cringeworthy for me. Like, I was like, honey, I was telling my husband, like, make it stop. I just can't. I just say, listen, go to the strip club. You want an $1,800 apartment? Go take those moves to the strip club, Julia. It's going to work out for you. But I think it was, of course, set up by the producers for them to go and look at that apartment without knowing the price of it, because just to give her that wake up and that shock, because so many people come here for the American dream and it seems like we make so much money, but things also cost so much more here. So the cost of living here, she was saying like an apartment where she's from could be like $100. Yeah, not close. So you can't live anywhere in the United States of America for $100. So I think it was just shock value. Great. Yeah. They're realizing how hard it is. Okay, let's move on to more, like, sometimes like that storyline, I needed them to cut away from that. And like, actually they should have shown us the fight that they teased last week between Andre and Charlie, which we didn't get. And now we have to wait an additional 2 weeks for it to go down. But I digress.
I know. Speaking of, and Julia finds out also that every time she tries to get a job here, there's certification and there's education, and we have so many requirements, and she's not used to that. And she's like, I just want to work. And I was like, Julia, there are jobs where you don't have to get certified or you don't have to get a certificate. Exactly. So I can't wait to see what goes on, because she's getting really impatient. She wants to move out. She's willing to contribute to the household, which a lot of people aren't willing to do, especially Natalie. They're not willing to do that. So maybe they will move out at some point, because she is definitely willing to work and contribute, because she just wants to be away from his mom, and I don't blame her. So let's talk about the road trip. So Becky heads out of the RV to talk to Andre, and nothing is resolved. Chuck goes out as well because Libby begs him to go talk, and nothing gets resolved. The road trip is going basically how we thought. So they get to the Airbnb, and Andre decides to leave his child unattended near some stairs, and he goes to the bathroom. He doesn't see anything wrong with the situation. A lot of fathers probably don't see anything wrong. I don't want to say a lot. Some fathers wouldn't see anything wrong because there are other people physically present. I had a huge argument on Twitter last night with someone because they felt like it was the other people around's fault that the child was on the stairs and not Andre's. I completely disagree. When you leave the direct supervision of your child, you notify someone around you that what you're going to be doing, so you can pass that supervision responsibility on to the next person. You never assume that someone is watching your child.
It's absolutely frustrating for me to watch this whole thing go down between Libby, Andre, and her family. I still could not understand for the life of me why Andre was able to speak forcibly to Becky, demand that she leave the RV and talk to her crazy outside, while her husband sat in there quiet for long, while her father sat in there quiet for long. It wasn't until Libby, ironically, was like, Dad, go out there. You started this, rather than even checking her own husband and being like, you can't talk to my sister that way. But these men, I don't understand it. The fact that even when it came to the child being in danger and Libby having to catch the child from the stairs, that the child was left directly in the care of her own father. And then he's speaking to her so nastily, calling her a bitch and everything in front of Chuck. It's proof positive. I mean, I think we see every single week how weak Chuck is and how ineffective he is as the patriarch of the family and as the leader of the business. That so much so that Andre has disrespected him and his family on so many levels. The fact that he knew he could talk to Libby that way in front of her father and there would be no repercussions just tells you everything that you need to know. I tell you what I do know. My husband, John Anthony Spavento, it would never happen. Never in a million years. I dare somebody to raise their voice at me. I'm telling you, don't do it. It's not going to be good. So it's like the men in this family, save for Charlie. I don't think it's about Charlie. Charlie, I think you're strong. I like you. Charlie, team you. Everybody needs a Charlie in their family. In my family, I'm the Charlie. So yeah, I like you, Charlie. You have heart.
Yeah.
You have the heart to do what no one else.
I agree. I think Charlie is the only one that's going to beat some sense into Andre. I can't wait to see when it happens. Again, I don't want any violence, but it already happened. I can't wait to see it because everybody else just seems to think that Andre is running things, and I'm ready to see somebody beat that sense into him.
And he knows that the men in the family are weak and that he can get away with it. But let me not stay here too long because I really want to drag Tiffany.
All right, let's just go straight into Tiffany and Ronald. So Tiffany gets to South Africa. She sees the room that he built for her son. She sees the apartment. Everything looks good. And then there's 6 eggs in the fridge and a beer. So they go to the grocery store. Ronald stacks the cart with all this food, and he can't pay for it because he's short $50, 50 American dollars. It's a lot more.
Okay, the bill was like over $250. So, okay, let's perspective.
Tiffany is annoyed. Tiffany's usually annoyed. So they get home. Ronald's putting food away and mopping the floor. She says she's tired. She wants him to take the kids. He refuses. They start getting into a fight. And then this is what he said that really irritated me. He said, this is what he said that irritated me. He was like, I don't change poopy diapers because I don't enjoy that. It's not something that I really want to do. And I was like, you don't get to choose when and what parts of being a father you want to do. When you become a father, you're a father 100%. So you can't just say, oh, well, the child does this and I don't like it, so I'll just distance myself from my child when it does this. That's crazy.
Pick me. I just feel like, okay, as wrong as Ronald is, and this is not like necessarily in support of Ronald, because Ronald could be a much better person, right? He has expressed that he is not okay changing her if the poopy diaper, because honestly, what I heard him say, like what I gathered, is that he's not comfortable properly cleaning her vulva after she defecates. I can understand that from a man to his toddler daughter. She's not even an infant, and he has not had all those years. What is the kid now, like almost 2? He hasn't had that time with her, and he's new to this. I can understand. I don't like that he said it like, oh, I have a wife, I don't do that. I think if it were a baby boy, it's a little bit less intimidating, and I could understand why for a man it could be a little bit daunting if you don't have the day-to-day experience changing the poopy diaper of your daughter that you don't really know. So I want to say that. Now, here's the thing. Tiffany is absolutely disgusting. She is so controlling and absolutely overbearing, and she has a little bit of narcissism too. She's not a malignant narcissist, I would say, but she's definitely like, do what I say, drop what I do. You didn't get groceries, Ronald. Why'd you buy these groceries, Ronald? You don't have money, Ronald. You don't have enough money, Ronald. Ronald, why'd you build that room? Why'd you spend money there, Ronald? You shouldn't have done this, Ronald. Ronald, come and help me. Ronald, put the groceries away. Ronald, help me. Ronald, drop everything. Run to me like a dog when I call you. It is insufferable. He can't do all the things at once. And had he left that kitchen floor wet instead of mopping up the mess, you know what would have happened? Their daughter would have slipped on the mess, and then she would have been like, Ronald, why didn't you mop the floor? Why'd you leave it wet? Why'd you do this? Now he's dead wrong for handing a plastic bag to a child. It says so right on the bag. This is not a toy. So even if you're not a parent and you don't know that, I think we've all seen plastic bags enough to see the sign that says, this is not a toy. Don't leave with children. It's a suffocation hazard. It's written on the plastic bag. So don't get me twisted. I'm not supporting Ronald, but I will say this. Tiffany, I don't know if you watched this podcast, but you seem to talk down to Ronald as if you could do better in life. No. I used to feel sorry for you. And I used to think, wow, she got this kind of guy and now life is hard for her. You chose this life and it's exactly what you deserve. You can't get any better than what you have. You cannot get any better than what you have. If there were a man of sense and substance and, wealth and status, he would never choose you. So I suggest you just make life work because you already decided to have the baby with him. Let's not break up her family. And he seems to genuinely care about the kids. So you suck it up.
Really? You think
That's
that?
how I feel.
I don't. I just don't. Like you said that he's in experience. So by him not doing it, how is he going to gain that experience so he can help?
True. He needs to be thrown into it. He should not put a full stop. Remember, this is not totally in support of Ronald, but it's like, Tiffany, you can't. I don't want to drag the young lady for filth, okay? I'm trying to be nice here. This is as nicely as I can say it. You could not get a man with money if you wanted to. You couldn't get a smart, sensible man. You had to pick up your groom from the rehab center because that's all you could get. Stop acting like you had a bunch of men lined up outside your door with rings from Cartier, Tiffany, and Harry Winston. You did not. It's not an option for you. You are a single mother who is a makeup artist, a no shade to makeup artist because I used to be one. And I'm not gonna do the rest of it. I'm not gonna do the rest of it because I'm gonna be nice and I don't want y'all to at me. I like to at me on Twitter. But Tiffany, you are exactly where you belong in life because you cannot. It's not that you don't want better. You can't get better. Ronald is for you. You are equally yoked. There, I said it.
Wow. So, okay. I mean, I feel as though her expectations for Ronald are high. So I agree with you. I feel like he has never given her any signs that he could meet any of the expectations that she has set for him. He has never given her any inclination that he can do any of those things. So I agree. The Ronald that she is with is the Ronald that he has always been. So the expectations that she is setting are outlandish and just downright almost ridiculous at this point.
Do you think she can get better? Do you think she deserves better than what she has?
Well, no, I think that she got what she paid for. She went shopping, she picked Ronald, and he's exactly what the package said he was going to be. She has buyer's remorse, but this is exactly what she signed up for. I agree. He is who he is. The day he met her to today, he is the same guy. All right, and on that note, I guess that's it for part 2, guys. So we have talked about everything that happened. I cannot believe we have to wait 2 weeks before we get the new episode of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, episode 11. So I don't know what we're going to do, but everyone, thank you so much for joining us. I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Marshana Dahlia. I will put our Twitters and Instagrams at the bottom. Make sure you live tweet with us every Sunday night, not next Sunday night. Make sure you enjoy your 4th of July next week, but the Sunday after, we will be there. Again, thank you so much for joining us, and all of you have a great week and great next week for your 4th of July.